Ladies and gentlemen, my kid Dezaras Prime, welcome back to another Combiner Wars review, where this time we are talking about Mirage. Now, I'm doing a lot of these in bulk. I'm starting to find my groove, no pun intended, and I'm really interested and invested in doing these again. I'm getting a lot out of the way now. This is the same day that I did my entire Lio Kaiser review. So Mirage would make this review number 8, I believe, for the day. And yeah, I'm just having fun with it. It's just a nice little thing that I can do. The Lio Kaiser reviews editing now. So I'm kind of reviewing, editing. It's a comfortable process. I'll say that. So yeah. Combiner Wars Mirage. Repaint of Dragstrip. This is one I like again. It's Ironhide was a disappointment, but Mirage is. I really like this figure. It's nice and sleek. Yeah, it's also got a bit of heft to it as well. I like the curvature of the arms and the shoulders. The head sculpt is beautiful. I mean, they've gone as far as to add the little goatee there, and they've painted the grills on the helmet. It's got that blue fucking combiner peg, but there's not nice little bits, like little subtle red touches on the arms, upper arms, and then the white with the blue, and the white fists on the forearms. The little Autobot insignia there. And there's just a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Colour delegation, I guess. Like the colours nice and balanced, and colour distribution. We'll go with that. If you go down to the legs, you've got the white and the blue, and they're nice whites and blues as well. And you've also got silver feet. He has feet as well. One of the few bonuses of Ironhide. Kibble isn't too bad. It's just on the back, tucked away nicely enough. All in all, I do like this. I've got Dragstrip was like, he was the Wave 1, wasn't he? The only Stunticon in Wave 1. And then Wave 2 came later if you were lucky and you knew where to look. eBay. That was where I got the rest of my Stunticons from. I was a bit, at first I was a bit funny about the neck, because he does have like a bit of a, I don't want to say giraffe neck. Come on, focus. There we are. But it's hard to notice because the kibble actually helps in this instance, because you can see it from that angle a bit more, but like the neck's a bit more raised than you might be used to with a Transformer figure. But if you look at it at the right angle, it kind of, the back kibble helps mask that a little bit. And so yeah, I kind of dig that. The kibble comes in useful for disguising other minor issues with the figure. But yeah, it's Mirage, it's sleek, it's sexy, it's curvy, it's everything you'd want in a Mirage figure, actually. This one has a right to be vain and in love with himself. Articulation. His head's a bit stiff. It goes around full 360. The arms can, if you wiggle them properly, go all the way around. He has a upper arm swivel. Bicep, is it? I don't know, I'm shit with anatomies. Elbow, and then a bit of wrist movement, mainly for transformation. There. His shoulders are also on the, they can go up and down, so you can have a certain range of, that's mainly for transformation, but if you want them a little bit lower, it looks dumb, but you can have it a little bit lower if you want. As with all limbs, waist swivel, full 360. He has the ball joint legs that don't go out as far as some other legs might, but he still has the Dunway swivel. Stop it. He has a thigh swivel, sorry. That's a little bit stiff, but you know, better to be stiff than loose. And the knee bend, no ankle tilt or anything like that, as is standard with the limbs again. All in all, a very good figure. He looks great. He has a decent range of movement, and yeah, definitely one of the highlights of this line. And I believe he was only used a couple of times, Mirage and Dragstrip. I don't recall having this figure on any other, unless he was used for one of the female combiners. I'm unaware of that because I don't own any of the female combiners. Never got around to getting them. Well, yeah, Mirage's robot mode, big success. I like it a lot. It's a really good figure, good articulation, and just all around looks great. Let's get to his vehicle mode. Okay, so his vehicle mode's great. The transformation is really fun actually, because rather than with most vehicles or even combiner limbs for that matter, the legs, to compress them, you'd fold them out, the panels, and then you'd tuck them up and all that. With this, you just push it up. So a neat little touch there, a nice little difference with to the rest of them. He looks good as a Formula One sports car. The spoiler could have probably done with being a little bit wider, but you know, compromises because that is used for other areas as well. It would have made his feet look a bit silly, or might have obstructed other areas. But as a vehicle, he is very nice, and he has that. It's really hard to tell underneath, because some of them it's glaringly obvious. I mean, the only thing is the head. You could turn that around, but the hands tuck away nicely, the arms, and it all folds together really well. Decal or decals are a bit basic. 62 circuit racing, 62 and an Autobot symbol there. But all in all, yeah, this figure succeeds. It's like Prowl. It has a great robot mode and it has a great vehicle mode as well. Yeah, it's one of those ones that certain characters I don't invest in as good, but you know, sometimes the toy can help invest in those characters, and that definitely helps with Mirage, because I just thought it was a bit of a stuck-up race car in the cartoons. And you know, good quality toys of characters can help sway one's opinion, because you're like, oh well, it seems a bit of a dick, or don't really gravitate to that character much, but his toy's good, and it might make you think, look at that character differently. Don't know, Mirage, it could be the same with Mirage, because I've got the Classics Mirage as well. That's a decent figure. It's hard to tell which one I like better actually, because I do really like this one. So that would be an interesting debate with myself at some point. Yeah, all in all, Combiner Wars Mirage succeeds as a robot and a vehicle. Let's check out his limbs. So much like Ironhide, surprisingly good leg. It's, I mean, head aside there, it's, again, a very compact leg. The front spoiler of the car, it actually, in my opinion, adds to it. It just brings it out a bit more, but it's still nice and streamlined, that it doesn't stick out like really far like Prowl's bonnet or hood does on his limb mode. The back, again, everything's well hidden. It looks very, very solid as a leg mode. It 3 out of 3 so far for Combiner Wars Mirage. He's is shaping up to be better than Prowl, maybe. I love it when that happens. You take a figure that might be a bit meh, and you go to review him, and your opinion changes as you're reviewing him, like it happened with Drillhorn and Iron Bison. So yeah, Mirage looking very good so far. Let's check out his arm though, see if he can make it 4 for 4. Okay, so Mirage's hand mode does it again. Very good arm mode. There's a standard thigh gap, but again, not as bad as it was with the tanks. The upper arm, that's nice and streamlined enough. It's actually probably one of the better streamlined arms, in my opinion. And it does a neat little trick with the arms where it does that just to add a bit of circulature to the shoulders, and from the side make it look a bit more, adds a bit more shield, like a sort of shielding to it, like a shoulder guard. He's got a very Mr. Boyd thing going on with his arms, and I'll explain that. When I was at school, I had an English teacher called Mr. Boyd, and he'd often just sit behind his desk and he'd just sit like that. And yeah, with his legs up sometimes as well. And yeah, so Mirage as an arm rocks the Mr. Boyd look very well. Mirage is basically Mr. Boyd as an arm. And I love that. 4 for 4. So, Combiner Wars Mirage. A surprise hit. And as reviewing it, I found myself more and more impressed with it. I knew it was good. I'd always liked this particular figure, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, you don't realise how good. Like the transformation's different. It's just those little touches, like you push the legs up instead of pulling them out and collapsing them in, and all that bollocks. His leg mode is very fucking solid. It's one of the best leg modes. And he has, in his arm mode, he's got the Mr. Boyd arms for his arm mode. And robot mode's great, vehicle mode's great, both limb modes are actually pretty great. It's never expected it. Mirage is the sleeper hit of Combiner Wars so far. There are some figures that are obviously brilliant or obviously great. There are some that might not have the best mold, but may have paint applications and little things that save it, like the 2 Lio Kaiser tanks. And then there are sleeper ones like Mirage that are just solid all-rounders. And most likely Dragstrip will be as well. Yeah. Surprisingly very fucking impressed with this figure. So, that concludes my review of Combiner Wars Mirage, which, after the disappointment that was Ironhide, is a welcome surprise. I've been Dezaras Prime. I will be back with Sunstreaker, and there's a pattern emerging here. Good, not so good, good, not so good. So, you shall see me next time.